Hello everyone, and welcome back to my little corner of the internet. And speaking of internet, today we are delving into some fun websites to cure your boredom and more specifically your curiosity. Hello fellow internet user, I'm glad you came across this video because today we're going to be talking about some really fun, creative, weird websites that will make you feel like a kid in a playground again who has full access to the internet for the first time in their life. And these aren't your typical social media websites. These are fun, creative. You can tell people have put genuine thought and creativity into these websites. So hopefully these prove that the internet is still fun again. But starting off strong, we have Windows 93, which is basically a site that looks like an old school operating system, but it's completely fake, and that's the point. It's packed with bizarre apps, retro games, and chaotic internet humor. It honestly feels like you've opened a computer from another universe where everything went slightly wrong. You can click around for ages and still keep finding new, really weird stuff. Looks like a desktop setup with all these different applications, but every one you press onto has a different feature. Some could be little games, some you can play some music on, some of them are puzzles. So they're honestly just really fun. If you ever liked cool math games as a kid, you are going to love Neil.fun. This is a collection of interactive experiments and mini games that are super simple but insanely creative. You can do things like spend billions of dollars, explore the size of the universe, or just mess around with random ideas that somehow turn into a really fun experience. It's one of those sites where you can go on for 5 minutes and you'll genuinely spend like 5 hours there. But there's so many different things on here, which is super fun. I think I spent hours playing the trolley game, which is basically where it asks you a bunch of questions about what would you do in this scenario? Would you run over these people who are morally wrong, or would you run over, I don't know, God? Like, there's so many different absurd trolley problem questions. Next, if you've ever wanted to send someone a curated flower bouquet of your favorite playlists, links, websites, apps, pictures, there's actually a website that does exactly that, and it's called Link Bouquet. This one's basically a curated list of interesting links, kind of like someone sharing their entire stash of internet gems with you. It's perfect if you like discovering random, niche, or obscure websites you'd never find on your own. Think of it like opening a door to 100 more doors, and you can customize the design of your bouquet, the flowers. You can literally do whatever you want and send this to your friends, and I think this is really cute. Honestly, this could be like a little internet gift you can send someone if you're not able to be with them for an event or their birthday, or you can just make your own curated list of something. Next, we've got Geocache, and this site mixes digital content with real-world exploration. It's all about discovering things tied to locations, almost like a modern internet-based treasure hunt. It's a cool concept that blends being online with actually exploring outside, which I feel like the internet needs more of. Absolutely love the design of this website. I just feel like it's been designed and curated so well. You can click on any of the objects to see what they are. For example, the main one on the homepage is a geodeck, which is basically like a cool cyber deck. And it tells you who it's built by and what's inside of it, the ins and outs of how it was made, what it's used for. And I think this is really cool for designers, like maybe product designers, graphic designers, if you're just looking for inspiration for projects or just see what other people are doing. Then there's something called Rock Social, a daily practice of creativity and mindfulness in this relaxing game of placing stones. View the gallery to see what others have created or get started creating your own. Start creating. Yep, so if you want to make a little artwork full of rocks, you know, you can do that. That is an option on the internet. If you're in a mood to learn some really cool topics, there is a website called Learn Anything, which is basically a site that turns learning into a visual map instead of a boring list. You pick a topic and it shows you a whole network of related concepts and steps, so you can go from beginner to advanced in like a really intuitive way. And it's super satisfying to explore the way the diagrams are all played out. There's a little search bar, click on anything and it gives you lists of websites and articles and books and anything you really need related to that topic to delve into it even further. And I think this is a lot more fun than just like your regular search engine. Next, I will forever want to talk about NeoCities because I just love them so much. Nothing eludes that nostalgia like a NeoCity does. NeoCities, if you don't know what they are, they're basically websites and like this application where people can create their own personal websites from scratch. It's inspired by the early internet, so instead of polished, corporate-looking pages, you get unique, creative, and sometimes extremely chaotic designs. It's basically the internet with a personality, and you can find people's diary entries, their projects, their artworks. Maybe you can find media lists of their favorite movies, their favorite music, playlists, and then usually they have links to other NeoCities in their NeoCity, so you can just, you can stumble upon NeoCity after NeoCity after NeoCity, and it's just, I could scroll on NeoCities for ages. It's just so much fun, and it feels so personal. It's not like just looking on the web, you're actually stumbling across a website that someone curated on their own. All their interests and artworks are in there. And this is just such a fun way to come across different websites and artworks and media, and you can find so much. Finally, we have our honorable mention, which is floor 796. You can't really do anything but scroll around on this massive zoomable pixel art scene of a sci-fi space station, but it is filled with references to movies, games, and internet culture. You can scroll around and constantly discover new little scenes happening. Basically, think of it like a giant Where's Waldo, and I don't know, whenever I scroll on here, it just makes me feel like a kid again, and the internet just feels so fun again, and I'm so glad there's websites still around like this. So yeah, those are some of the coolest websites I've come across recently that are just really fun and feel like the nostalgic internet culture that I feel like we're missing nowadays. So yeah, if you have any other websites, please comment them below because I'm always looking for another internet rabbit hole to fall into. And if you want more videos like this, I have plenty more websites I'm sure I'll come across that I'd love to share with you guys. So please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time.